Hello everyone, it's Tygem Baduk, and I'm here on Christmas Day, actually recording a new little video. It might be hard to find a game, but hopefully we can find a nice simple game for today. This is a 1Q on Tygem. Looks like our fourth game here. Let's see how long it takes. Someone else. Let's try another game. Let's see if we get one.
The game
See if
is
he
set.
stays. Well, that might be white. All right, looks like he is staying. Let's just do 2 4 4s as white. He's approaching on a weird side, but I think that's fine. I'll just back off. The old Joseki. I'm just going to respond and not worry about it. And because this approach move on this side is the biggest move on the board, it was a little bit small to approach that corner first, though it shouldn't matter too much. And I will just do the basic 2 space back. Kicking me. If we had the diagonal, I would want to jump 2 spaces, but since he has this knight's move, there is Aji in that position, so I will want to extend this time. Okay. And so he just really wanted this corner, but the corner was already his. This move doesn't really do anything. So that means I can move on to something else, which means I want to do this corner enclosure instead. Invading my side right away. I think I want to keep the corner. A bump here. And do this Hane. He can clamp in the corner, but that will be safe until he gets under stone here. Since he's only a knight's move here, we do want to keep him weak. And probably don't really need to do too much to his shape here. It might be nice to jump up here to make sure he stays weak. And then our group is 100% safe now. He just wants to live very small. I'll let him do that. And because he wants to live small, let's peep. And we can go down here. And now he's not alive yet. So we can throw in. But it's not too important right now. I think we can probably leave this group and go somewhere else on the board. Just taking the 3 point here would be fine. Approaching, there's this approach here, which there's still a lot of Aji for. So let's just take the 3 point. Let's do a nice simple move. I expect him to block on the other side, but this makes it simpler for me. Especially if he double Hanes. This is really good. Like I've said in a few other videos, I like to do this exchange right away. Because he's very likely to respond in the corner right now. And I could push here, which is my preferred shape right now. But he does have this weakness on this side, so I want to approach on this. Do this approach move first, I think. Let's attach and see if we can do anything to his shape here. We can go down and cut here. And now he's going to be able to capture these stones, but we should be able to do some sort of squeeze and separate at the very least. And there is still a little bit of Aji in the corner, so just be a little bit careful. So let's do this squeeze here. So now we can separate this right away and jump out. That's good enough. That move doesn't really do anything. So we need to surround him on this side, it looks like. Let's do the diagonal move. The one that has the best shape there. We can still surround him here. And then jump on this side. That was a bad move for him. We also get this move here. And it looks like we can also get this Hane, because we can throw in, and then Atari, and Atari. There's a lot of stuff here. But looks like we can also just surround. This is a very common shape when you have this. When you do this Knight's move and they Hane, you do have this Tiger's Mouth, which allows you to connect up and cut him off. So let's do this shape. You should be able to cut something here, but my stones should all be fairly strong overall. Just stay connected. All right, so I guess we need to see if he's alive. So there's this attachment here, which gives him at least a 4 space. So if we push here and do this one, he plays down. He has at least something here. So it looks like it's difficult to kill directly. So it might be nice to stay strong on the outside. So I'm going to play this one. If he blocks, then I'll play here, which gives me some strength on the outside. He could play there himself, but if he does, then I can pull back and also get some strength. So now I have to do this one here. Now is very unlikely to be able to cut this in a very strong way. Prevent him from connecting up. And now we have to decide if he is alive yet. So if we wedge here, he plays this one. He's probably alive. So if we play this one, he goes down. We can probably do this one in Sinte. He has to connect. Then we wedge here and turn. And it looks like potentially like a Seki shape. So let's see how he responds to this move. He could also connect on top. If he does that, then we just leave it. So he went down. So we might as well do the wedge now. Yeah, it looks like he's very likely alive. But it should be Sinte for me to get the Seki. Because of this turn, and he has to play here. And then he should be fine. Or Execapture first. Yeah, there we go. But we don't really need to worry about that. So one of the weaknesses I have on the board is this clamp here. If he gets a move here, then the clamp becomes a little bit annoying to deal with. We have some influence here. We can probably play this move and cover to make some points, but it's not really that big. So let's play here this 2 space, threatening his group a little bit and protecting our corner. Take a sip of tea. Got this nice Steez tea, whatever. Let me see. Whatever it's called. I like it a lot. It's going to block. It's a very big move. Jumping out there. Can probably just extend here, which gives us a lot more strength, or we can jump. Let's jump here, threaten his area. And then we do have this attachment here, and we can make a base over here. And there's a little bit of weakness here too. But I think if he cuts, I cut him directly, and he doesn't really have anything because I believe there's a ladder here. Let's see where the ladder goes. Looks like it goes to my stones over here. So for now, this group is safe, but I could push one time if I really wanted to be completely sure of it. Or I could even wedge here. But I think it'd be more interesting to do something to the top group here. So let's do this attachment. This is an old classic attachment for the shape. The sort of Tesuji here is H17. If he plays that, then I'm only able to get just a little bit of influence here. We'll see what he decides. He was playing very fast earlier, and now he's finally slowed down, maybe matching my pace a little bit. So here we have the cross cut. If he captures on this side, then I cut this stone off. If he captures on this side, then I cut these two stones off. So let's do that. So yes, we just capture the two stones. And now our corner is safe. We don't have to worry about him doing a two space here. Okay. This is a tricky move, but it doesn't really do anything. So what he wants me to do is he wants me to Atari here so he can Atari back. When I capture, then he can do something here, but that doesn't do anything. So we can just do this. Ah, he's going to attach to me now. Very good. Let's see. Does this work here? Fihane is underneath. We can pull back. He goes up. There's a nice little cut here. That doesn't really work too well. We can do this one, though. Because our corner should be fairly safe. We want to do a double Hane here. Add to some of the weakness on the outside of the shape. And let's extend up here, because he's not alive on this side. And he's not alive on this side either. So let's just jump out and... he's going to defend on that side. Very good. Let's just surround him. Nice and simple. Yep, let's just surround. Connect up our stones. And probably don't even need to do anything else over here. So something we can do here is just peep at him. And attack him from the center. So if I attack him here, he's going to run towards his group. Don't know if we want to do that. If I attack him from this side, though, he's going to run towards my more thick area. So let's do that. So he just wants to go this way anyway. All right. There we go. Now pushing him towards my thick area. And just connect. He can do whatever he wants there. If he's alive now, it doesn't really matter. These two stones are not important. So he does have some weakness here. If I extend up, I should be able to poke at a lot of it. And he's not necessarily alive. So I think I will extend up here and see what he wants. See if he's going to protect himself. This should also make my corner have a lot less Aji. So I'm not sure what he's trying to go for. This area is alive and this area is alive. So let's poke at his shape here. and just surround it. Yep. He needs to just live, but he doesn't want to. So let's throw in here. All right, cut off that.
Overtime countdown has begun.
So he wants to surround this middle area. So let's do this and connect up. And capture this stone, which means that this bottom group is not alive yet. Or actually, no, I guess it might be still Seki. But forgot there's no Atari here. Well, I just block here. This should be fine. He can maybe make an eye like this. He's not going to, though. He's going to do a ko. We'll see. I can probably just connect here. None of this stuff is important for eye shape, and my shape is all connected. He resigned. Yes. Okay. That was actually sort of complicated there. But he did have a chance. So we should look at that. It really felt like I wasn't really talking about the game this time, so hopefully I was. Yes, let's look at this game. I think I can start the review directly here this time for some reason. All right, so here, he does still have a move preview. He can play this one, which is threatening to cut through, right? And then he has this ko here. When I capture, the problem is he probably doesn't have a ko threat. And if I capture this stone, I am threatening the life of this top group. So it's a little bit risky, but it looks like his best opportunity. But he just sort of let me surround him, let me run him out towards the center with all of his weak groups. And they weren't super weak like we've seen in a few games. They actually had some eye shape, but it was difficult for him to manage this. Yeah, totally misread the bottom. It's still a Seki, but the capture was not important. Let's go to the beginning of the game. We'll talk about some opening things here. You shouldn't be approaching a 4-4 point, especially not from this side, like F17 here, when you have an open 3-4 point. If he wants to approach, he should probably approach on this side, like for a mini Chinese. This is the more standard way to play, though I think it probably doesn't matter too much overall. You can still win playing the other way. I think it's always important to respond to your opponent's approach moves 99% of the time. When there's a move on the board you know for sure is important, it's good to go play that first, but I don't really like tanukiing any sort of approach moves because it just simplifies the game. And this allowed me to get the first, the biggest point on the board. So I was happy with this result here. And this, I think what he was thinking here, because this doesn't really make me weak, this actually makes me a little bit stronger, especially since I have a 2 space here. So normally when you do this sort of thing, it's with the star point stone. It's like we kick and jump down. I make my base, and then you hane and connect here. So now that this corner is secure. And with this 3 space extension from the 2 space wall here, right? There's a lot of aji with this, with these sort of clamp areas here. So if I tanuki, he has this clamp, which I probably have to give up. And he has just the peep here, which is a little bit difficult to manage as well and harder to give up in a clean way. And then even just any sort of invasion over here is going to be a little bit easier because there is stuff on this side. So that's sort of why this kick is a little bit bad early on, but it's the Hane under, I mean, is a little bit bad early on, but it's still not a terrible move because it still leaves Aji. But on this side of the board, even if black does clamp, when I give it up, it's not really a big deal. There's not even really a ladder here because when I capture, if I'm able to capture this stone, that's really good for me. Makes me an immortal group right in the beginning of the game. So that'd be too good. So there's something to think about is like it seems like the right type of shape to do, but it's the wrong position for that shape. So we just play some normal opening moves. It's pretty common for black to actually attach in the corner here first, because if you go down and then make this base, we'll just play something simple here. Now, if I play away, we get Gote over here. When black plays his move here, I actually have to defend now, which is why this clamp is pretty good if I go down to try to keep it separated. And if I Tanuki instead, there's this jump here with this, and you could play very crude moves here instead of going right away, but you can also jump directly. This makes it very difficult for white in this position. So you usually do not want to let your opponent do this, right? So you would have to defend. And so it makes it a little bit awkward if you think your opponent might get this move before you do. In this game, it's possible I might want to play there first. After he defended, instead of me playing on this side, I could do this one. Gets rid of the Aji here, so it's sort of a little bit of a donation, but I'm also taking a slightly small move. And he can go get the big move, so it would be a trade-off. But instead, the normal move here is to connect solidly. So now, when they jump up, let's play the same thing. When they do this jump up thing and try to get some strength and live, if I really go all out to try to kill him, and I'm surrounding him and all that sort of stuff, he can get this attachment to the corner in Sente. Because this move here allows for an eye. So this attachment is actually a really cool tesuji to keep in mind when you do this sort of invasion thing. Anyway. This is probably a slightly bad shape for him to do. It's usually not good to try to live directly like this. That's why I was showing the bump. I think the bump is a bit more, a bit better shape of a move if you wanted to try to live directly. Because this attachment just makes me stronger. And if I really, really wanted to, I could play on the other side here and try to very much go after the group. But because I jumped here, it's unlikely that I would want to do that. They have a lot of Aji that they have to fix on this side too now. So it's better not to attach if you're trying to settle if you're just trying to settle your group. But if you're okay with potentially trying to fight and cutting through the middle stones, then sure, you can do that this way. So this is an unfinished group on the right side. It needs at least one more move to be alive, but it can also run out. So since I can't really surround it in one move, it's good to play elsewhere. So we can wait until later on in the game to find out if we can attack this. So this could have gone better for me, like the way you're supposed to do it. I just didn't want to. I wanted to see if I get something else. But this was a mistake to extend down. And he played it correctly. What you're supposed to do is just back off here, because you do have some potential cutting points, but it seems a little bit difficult to do anything there.
You have a game request.
Oh, a game request. All right, let me turn that off, guys. Yeah, so what I should have probably done here is this Hane over the top. This is an awkward shape for black. So if he Hanes and I cut here, he does have a little bit of an issue. However, it felt a little bit hard to attack this stone this way. So what I really wanted was some sort of Sente move here at M2, which is what I got in the game. But honestly, it probably wasn't too worth it. So like maybe instead of doing the cut right away, I can turn right away instead. And that probably would have been a little bit better. but he can attach on top and just connect. So maybe this would have been fine connecting underneath. So in this case, this is like the upper right area where I left the Aji there, right? Then any sort of center fight is going to matter for this group. Same idea here. That's what I should have done. Instead of, because he backed off, instead of connecting, because he backed off down here, I should just try to attack this stone directly and leave the Aji for later. Or just pull back, as I said. The rest of it was just sort of classic moves, except I think his real losing move here was not letting me just have these two stones and letting me come out into the center. Even if you just extend it here, these two stones are not really important. So if I do cut here, he doesn't want to just push here. This would be very awkward for him, right? He would give these stones up. These stones aren't doing anything, right? They're not cutting anything off. They're nothing really special here. So if he just captures these, yeah, I can probably get this. But his group's alive. This group is very likely still going to be alive because now he's closer to another group over here. And it's his turn. He can play a big move. I can try to threaten him, force him to connect up, or live, right? And maybe build something in the center, but it's not really going to be too big of a deal. And right now, let's see. I should have a 12 points. I should be ahead by 12 without Komi. That's without building a lot in the center as well. So I said his first losing move was allowing me to cut him off in the center. But his second losing move was most definitely allowing me to play one more move here and poke at the shape completely. What he should have done a lot earlier, probably, is this sort of Hane. But it's probably always Sente, so he can get it probably whenever he wants to. And I think there's no way for me to kill him at that point. So when I get this move, now he has to play a move here or just live directly. Living directly is probably the simplest move if he doesn't want to try to figure something out. But he should not have played this. Yes, the game was close. If I use the score estimate one more time here, I'm ahead by 22 now without Komi. So he really wants, this guy's not close, but he really wants to come in and take the points. I understand that. But he does have weakness here, and he could have protected it in Sente a long time ago. But as you saw, he had to sort of live everywhere on the board, which was awkward for him. And then I was able to just poke at his shape and surround him, because I'm unlikely to make a bunch of points here. It's very difficult. It's open. It's just, yeah, not easy for her. So I went and described a lot of stuff here, but it looks like just nothing works. So I guess it doesn't really matter. This was just too difficult for black to handle in this area. My shape is too strong. If you can find something, definitely let me know. This was definitely the end of the game. Which went all the way to here, yes. Yeah, so I'm not sure how good this video is, but the game itself was fun, I think. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I've been playing, I mentioned earlier that I've been playing a little bit on IGS. If you guys want to see some IGS games, they're a lot harder, but if you guys like to see that, let me know. It's at the end of the video, and no one usually watches this part, but if you do, definitely say something down below. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you're having a great Christmas day, and yeah, have fun.